Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today, I got something a little interesting for you on this channel. So as you guys know, or maybe not know, this channel is primarily a speaker channel. I made a poll, and you guys voted that you'd like to see other types of content uploaded to this channel. So here we are right now. So today, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on a 2020 Emove Cruiser electric scooter after 5,000 miles of use. So to start off this video, I'm gonna first go over when I first got the scooter and how I've used it throughout those 5,000 miles, what I've done to it, how I rode it, all that kind of stuff. So back in 2021, I was looking for an electric scooter that was, faster, had more range than my 9BOT Max. 9BOT Max is a good scooter, but I just wanted more. 19 miles an hour just wasn't doing it for me, and the range, they claim 40 miles, but if you're maxing out the speed the whole time on that thing, it gets closer to 19 miles if you're lucky. And that's when I found the Emove Cruiser for sale. It already had close to probably 1,000 miles. I think it was a little under when I got it, but that wasn't a deal breaker to me, so I still got it anyway. So pretty much I've mostly just used the scooter for joyriding around and enjoying the trails that I have close by to me. I also use it to commute to work, which is about probably 4 to 5 miles each way. But by far, the longest trips I take on this thing are going to Goodwill, which is probably about 40 miles total. And I do this pretty often. Sometimes I do it 3 times during the week. Sometimes I do it less. It just depends, really. But either way, that's still a pretty long trip to take on a scooter. By the time I get back, I'm so exhausted, but this thing did it with no issues. Did the 40 miles, it had battery to spare, I maxed it out the whole way. This thing did great. But anyways, with that little backstory out of the way, I should probably mention the stuff I had to do with the scooter over 5,000 miles, like what I've had to replace or just general maintenance. So let's get into that now. So I'd say the first 1,000 miles that I had it, which was around 2,000 miles on the scooter, nothing much really happened. It was just a solid scooter. But I will say probably around 1,700 miles, the charging port, I don't know what happened to it exactly. This was a while ago. But all I remember is that it would not charge, and it wasn't the cable. So I had to replace the charging port, which was honestly pretty easy to do. It's just, you take off the 4 bolts in the front, you take off that little plastic panel and just replace it with there's 2 cables or something. That was really the only thing I had to replace within those first 1,000 miles that I've had it. I don't think this will really happen to you guys. I don't really know how this happened to me. I don't know what happened. This was a while ago, but that's all I remember of that, and I figured I should mention it here. Secondly, the brakes. So I've been through a couple brake pads, pretty typical stuff. Also, the brake lines, this is the second time recently that they've snapped. The first time it happened was a little bit ago. I'm not sure if that's normal for anyone else. I've never experienced this on any other scooter, but I mean, to be fair, the other scooters I have barely 1,000 miles on them, so yeah, not many miles. But either way, this could just count as maintenance. You should be keeping an eye on your brakes on any scooter. So the third thing I did to it was probably around 3,000 miles. I replaced the tires in the front and the back, and in the process of doing that, I also replaced the rear motor from the 600 watt one that came with it to the newer 1,000 watt that comes with the 2021 plus models. It really lightens up the scooter. It makes it a lot more fun to drive. It increased the top speed from 24, 25 miles an hour to 28, 29, or even more on a downhill. So if you have an older one, it's definitely worthwhile. It's pretty plug and play to replace it. I think there's an adapter or something you have to put in there. This was a little bit ago I did this, but it was pretty simple, and it really lightens up the scooter. And you don't have to get a whole new scooter either, so it's pretty nice. The fourth thing about this scooter is the folding mechanism. If there's anything I'll say I dislike about the scooter, it is definitely the folding mechanism. There's been nothing but issues since I first got it. And at around 4,200 miles, the S-knob locking pin, the thing you pull to unfold the scooter, it snapped. I went to unfold it once and it just snapped open. I think the spring broke or something. I'm not really sure what happened. but that thing was in pieces. I'll see if I can put like a picture on the screen. I think I still have one. So that was a lot of fun. It left me without a scooter for a little bit until I got to replace that. Even past all that, the scooter is still just like, it's just hard to fold and unfold in general. Like, you really have to tug on the bolt to release it to like unfold it or fold it. I really don't like it. There's so many better folding mechanisms. This is the worst one I've ever used. But yeah, other than the things I just mentioned, it really hasn't been too bad of a scooter. It's had some minor issues besides the brakes and the folding mechanism, which the folding mechanism sucks on this thing. But otherwise, it's been a pretty trouble-free scooter. It's just something I can unplug and take anywhere, never have to worry about range. I recommend it highly. But there's already like hundreds of reviews on this scooter that tell you the same thing. I'm not going to go into that, but just know the range is definitely, it lives up to the hype. It's a very solid scooter. You never have to have range anxiety. You can just take it wherever, bring it back, plug it in. Sometimes you don't even have to plug it in, especially if you commute every day. Like if you're going like 4 or 5 miles each way, like you can leave that thing unplugged for all you care. That thing will have battery forever. And the range is still great, even after 5,000 miles on the scooter. And what has it been, like 4 years since this thing was probably sold? The range is still awesome. I'll show you guys right now in a second. I'll show you guys a range test. I'm about to get into that right now. And I'm going to prove to you, even after the 4 years, this thing can still do my 40-mile run to Goodwill. Even at max speed. No troubles at all. I will get to that right now. Alright, so here I am, live footage. So we are at 0 miles right now. We're going to be taking about, I think it's 20 miles there, 20 miles back. I used to do this at full speed on the scooter. And I used to get here no problems. We'll see if I can still do that, or maybe like slightly slower, I don't know. As you can see, we've got 5,089 miles, probably a little more since last time I filmed. We have 0 miles on the trip right now, as you can see. So let's get to it. Alright, so here we are. We're at like a Walmart Staples thing, and we went about 4 miles, and we've got 56.7 volts. And we still have full battery. So that's 4 miles, still full battery. We've only lost, what is that, a volt? What were we at before? Like 57 something? So I think we lost a volt. Not bad at all for 4 miles. This thing is doing pretty well so far. I mean, we've been maxed out. There's like a little main road back there somewhere, and I maxed it out on there. I was going like probably 28, 30. So this thing is doing pretty good so far. Yeah, let's continue on. Alright, so here we are. We have made it 10 miles and we still have a full battery. This thing is actually doing really well. 55.1 volts. We're just under 5,100 miles on the odometer too. And it's been about 45 minutes. This thing is still doing pretty good. If it continues this, I'm just gonna continue maxing it out the whole way. I mean, I'm going like 28, 27 down this road right now, so yeah, this thing's holding up pretty well so far. This is with no lights on too, by the way. It's not dark enough for that yet, so I mean, I'm sure the lights don't really take that much. I have these two on, and then this is a separate light I turn on just because it's a lot brighter. But yeah, that's it for now. Alright, here we are. We are 14 miles into this trip, as you can see, and we have 4 bars of battery remaining. It happened like pretty soon after I said we had a full battery. We've got 53.9 volts, almost 54, and on the odometer, 5,100. We just hit it, and it's been just under an hour. So yeah, there are the stats update on the Emove Cruiser. It's doing really damn good, not gonna lie. I'm impressed with this thing. For 5,000 miles, this thing is doing awesome. I've been maxing it out the whole way, as you've seen in the footage I just did. I mean, I was hitting 28, 29, some of those even 30, so this thing's doing great. Let's keep going. Alright, so here we are, 17.4 miles. We've made it to this Goodwill. This is where I normally take it to see if there's any stereos or anything in here. But of course it's closed because I waited too long for this. But anyway, 17.4 miles, we still have 4 bars of battery. We have 53.1 volts, 5,106 miles, and it's been an hour, 15 minutes. This normally doesn't take this long, but you know, with the filming and everything, it takes longer to have to record all the footage and stuff. But yeah, 17 miles, 4 bars of battery. I feel more than comfortable to just full throttle this all the way back home, and we should be good. You could probably take it even more out. You could probably take this thing 20 miles, but I don't really know this area that well. I only come here for this, so maybe I'll circle around here a few times and then head out. Maybe I'll hit 18 miles. That's what I'll try to do. I'll hit 18 miles and then head out, and we'll see how it does. But yeah, this is a nice area. I might get some more footage here, and yeah, sweet. Alright, so I just went around a few times. I just noticed too, there's like a 1 mile difference. So this one says we went 18 miles. The app says we went 19 miles. I'm not sure which one is more accurate, but either way, it's a pretty high mileage. Also, in that few laps I did, we lost a bar of battery. So we're at 3 bars of battery and 52.9 volts. So yeah, that's something to mention. We're right on the edge of that 4 bars. So we got 3 bars to get home with. I think we got this. Alright, so here we are. We went 24 miles so far, or 25, I don't know what the app says, but here we are. We have 3 bars of battery, just barely. Like, the instant, like, I go like another mile and this thing's gonna be 2 bars probably. So, we got 3 bars right now. I'll update you when we have 2 bars. We've got 50.5 volts in the battery. 5,113 miles. And 1 hour, 41 minutes. So yeah, there it is so far. I've been maxing it out that whole way. I was probably hitting 25 average. I hit 26 in some spots, 24 in some. So somewhere around there. It's definitely not as quick as it was when it's full battery, but it still gets up there. So I'm impressed. Even with half battery, pretty much less than half battery, we're still hitting 26 miles an hour. That's really impressive. So yeah, there's this so far. I'll update you when we hit 2 bars of battery. Alright, so here we are now on this main road, and we have hit 28 miles. That's our total mileage, and that's the time, just under 2 hours. And we've got 49.4 volts, so we're hanging on to our 2 bars of battery. Still doing pretty well. I've been maxing it out the whole time. This thing is doing awesome. I mean, I'm hitting 26 miles an hour pretty consistently. I'm probably averaging about like 25 more often though. which is really, really good for this amount of battery life left. I just went up this pretty steep hill here, as you can see, and we hung out at 20 miles an hour up the hill. So that was pretty good, I think. It didn't hit 19 at all. 20 was the lowest I seen. And then as soon as we started nearing the top, it went up to 21, 22, right back up to 25. So this thing is doing awesome so far. We've got probably, I don't know, 6 miles left to go. I think we can do it pretty easily. So I'm just gonna keep maxing out the whole way. I'll see you in another 4 miles. Alright, so here we are. We're getting really close now. We have 32 miles and we still have 2 bars of battery, as you can see. And we have went about 2 hours 13 minutes and we have 48.5 volts. I think 42 volts is when it dies, so we can't let it get that low. But we are almost there. I'm saying probably hanging around 25, 24 miles an hour, a little more than 26 now. But we can still hit 26 if there isn't much wind or something. So this thing is still doing pretty awesome. Let's just keep going. We probably got about 3.5 miles left to get home, so let's do it. Alright, so here we are at the end. We've ended off with 35.7 miles and 2 hours 27 minutes. 47.1 volts, and we are done. We made it home. This thing did awesome. I'm happy with this thing for 5,000 miles. This thing has a ton of life left in it still. I take this thing to get to work and stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, and with that, I'll meet you guys back in the video. Alright, so there we go. There is the range test of the Emove Cruiser with over 5,000 miles on it. I will say I actually didn't expect it to do that well. I mean, I didn't even slow down. Like, I had cruise control set basically the entire time unless I needed to slow down, and this thing did it with no issues. I had battery to spare when I came back home, so hey, in my book, that is awesome. So to wrap this video up, I'm gonna just kind of go over some nighttime performance of the scooter, because I kind of forgot to mention that in the beginning part of this video. Overall, this scooter in the dark, it's okay. So basically you have 2 lights on the deck of the scooter. They're pretty small. They're basically just there, honestly, I like them for looks. That's really all they're there for, in my opinion. They really don't do anything to light up anything. It could also be useful, like, for people to see you, I guess. That could also be what they're used for. But then right above those, you have a little stem-mounted light. It's okay. Personally, I don't think it's enough. I do a lot of nighttime driving because I work late, so I have to ride back home in the dark. So I got myself an aftermarket light, and I'll say the aftermarket light I got works so much better. I can see, like, everything. But honestly, if you don't do that much nighttime riding, it's not a horrible light. I've seen worse for sure. There's some scooters that don't even have a stem-mounted light and just have the deck lights, so I'm not complaining, but it could definitely be better. Honestly, I think if the light was a little higher, it might be a little better, but I honestly tend to kind of aim the light up a little bit so I can see a little more, but it works pretty well, like right in front of you, but it fades off really quick. It doesn't go that far. So if you do a lot of nighttime riding, I do definitely suggest having an aftermarket light, like mounted on the handlebars. As for brake lights, they're pretty good. I really have no complaints. They're, you know, standard for a scooter, I guess. Although I will say a complaint I do have is with the blinkers. During the night, the blinkers aren't horrible. You can see them, kind of. But during the day, they are practically non-existent. Like, I'm gonna be showing, like, footage I've recorded of the daytime blinkers versus the nighttime blinkers. And you can see for yourself, nighttime ones aren't horrible, but you get any sort of daytime light and those blinkers become basically invisible. So yeah, not the greatest in my opinion. They also don't self-cancel, so the amount of times I forgot to switch them off after, Don't even want to talk about it. Don't even want to talk about it. But yeah, all in all, it's not a horrible nighttime scooter. There's definitely worse out there, but I do suggest if you do a lot of nighttime riding to get an aftermarket headlight. You'll thank me later for sure. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this scooter. If you want a more in-depth review, I recommend checking out some other videos. This is just like my 5,000 mile review of the scooter, and this thing lasted way beyond my expectations. So hey, if you want a really long-lasting scooter, definitely I recommend this. I didn't even try to like protect the battery or anything. I just leave it plugged in sometimes. Although recently I've been starting to like not leave it plugged in all the time, so hopefully that helps preserve the battery now. 5,000 miles on a scooter, pretty great. Hoping to make it to 10,000, we'll see. But anyways, I think that's all I have to say in this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you guys want to see more content like this on this channel, let me know in the comments below. I might be working on some special content soon between my JVC Tower of Power systems, so stay on the lookout for that. I just gotta find time to record it, but I have an idea, trust me. Anyways though guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, crush the like button. Also, hit the giant red subscribe button. That'll help me out a ton. And yeah, that's pretty much it guys. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.